Hi there, and welcome to my podcast. How the heck did you do that podcast? I'm here with Mike Knudson. I had the great opportunity of meeting Mike on a retreat in Mount Shasta. And while it sounds like my neighbors are beating the wall, let me get back to this. I had the wonderful fortune of meeting Mike and hearing his story, and um, just have a great respect for uh, the strength and perseverance and the I want to say like not necessarily clarity of mind, but the space that you had to go into in your mind, that strength to be there for yourself and to make strong choices. Um, and yeah, just a huge respect for that. Um, I wanted to go over here first. Pulling up your profile on Instagram. So in the vein of what I'm doing here with this particular podcast, the from the story you've shared with me, um, you had a speech impediment growing up, and you received a lot of um, negative interactions with people because of it. Um, uh, you're a veteran. Um, you very much care about veterans' mental health in general, suicide awareness and prevention, and giving people hope from what I've seen. Um, so the question is, and I'm noticing from your profile that you are certified in NLP, MER, and hypnotherapy. Um, So the question of this podcast is, how did a kid who went through what you went through, like, how the heck did you do that? How did you get to where you are now?
That is a very interesting question. Just through my, I guess, growing up, I grew up on a small farm. Uh, we did a lot of hunting and having guns around and stuff. So I was just like, oh, I want to be in the military. So going into the military, I don't know if this is actually going to answer your question or not, but it's um, going into the military, uh, con- connecting with people, finding those bonds, uh, and they became family. So for me, family is a huge, I guess, a root for me or a good feeling for me. And when I have brothers and sisters that commit suicide because of their traumas and stuff like that, um, I want to help them. I know I've gone through similar situations, similar traumas, and how I overcame this basically goes down to the mindset in NLP. Because learning what I know now, I'm like, oh, that's what I used earlier in my life is NLP, which just basically reframing how you think of things, how you say things, and that's gets me out of the dark places. So
So, and I'm going to say this in my words and tell me if I'm on point, because what I'm hearing is that you were proactive in your own mental health and your own mental guidance, and you realized that left alone, if it was if there was no driver at the wheel, it would go down the dark roads. Yeah.
to a point, I mean, there's some days that the demons get more control than I did, but I think a lot of people have had those days, and you have to accept those days as well as the good days as well. And the things I've learned over the last year has been just like mind blowing to myself and to everybody I share it with, and I just want to keep sharing, keep helping people to get out of those dark places.
That's awesome. So you got me excited. You said the things you've learned. Is there like one, two, three top things that have just like really left a strong impression on you that you'd like to share? I know I'm
The
putting you on the spot.
I know the the biggest thing uh, is NLP and reframing how you say things, and going through my NLP trainings and stuff. You learn about how the brain functions, how it picks up all these information that gets thrown at you every day, every second of the day, and our mind filters it with our limiting beliefs, our way of life, our past history, of things that's events that's gone one way, and then you come to that same event now, you're going to think, hey, that's going to do the same thing as that past event because it's what you know. So these are kind of filters, and you can change that filter to, instead of always looking negative or at the bad stuff, you can train your mind to focus more on the positive, lighter things that are out there.
While I get and I understand where you're coming from, I was just thinking if we have viewers who are new to this domain and they don't understand what filters mean and, you know, reprogramming, reframing, and that sort of stuff, in kind of layman's term or, in an example, could you possibly give us an example of some thoughts or something that happened to you and what you chose to do just as a story or as an example?
I'm actually going to take it a step back even further, even talking about what NLP is, because a lot of people are like, what's NLP? So NLP is neuralistic programming, which is basically how you talk to your brain. I mean, neuro is your brain, linguistics is language, and programming is how things get into your brain. So it's basically how you talk to your brain. So reframing is take an event of you losing your job. And this has happened to me in the past. And a lot of people are like, oh, shit, I'm lost my job. Don't know what I'm going to do. And next thing you know, they're going down the dark path. But reframing is like, okay, I lost my. Yep.
Can I just poke in there? I actually don't. I would love if you expanded that on a little bit more. Like I lost my job, I don't know what to do. I would think that people would have other thoughts of related to what they think of themselves. I'm not good enough. How did I do this? Uh, so and so is depending on me. I'm a failure. Like I don't. For me, I just kind of want to highlight a lot of because you're talking about neural linguistic programming, and these are the language that you're saying to yourself. This is the
Yep.
programming that I don't want to say you, but when I think about it,
Every
these are
people. Yep.
yeah, these are the
Or
things that
yeah.
come into my head. Yeah. Um, so I kind of wanted to say that out loud. I didn't want to skip it because there was a lot of comments, so many different comments that I would consider negative or non-helpful in that situation. This is what you address. I just wanted to make sure I said some of them at least.
Yes, and some other ones is like, how am I going to pay the bills and all this finances that everybody's. That's one of the major uh, talking points for suicidal issues is financial stuff. So especially when you lose your job, you're like go down the dark rabbit hole of suicide or your inner demons, whatever you want to call them. And for me, I was just like, reframe that to now have an opportunity to find a job that I like better, to find a job that pays more, to deal with those finances, and find a job that has a schedule that benefits me more, or even has better benefits than the previous one, health insurance or whatever that people are looking for.
So again, just to say it in my own words, um, you took it as or you proactively or purposely looked at it as an opportunity to level up and get more of what you wanted.
Absolutely.
That's that's brilliant. Well, it is. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's just like I can try it on. Like, I was like, oh, cool. I get to have more. Like,
Yeah.
which is not the normal thought when I lost my job.
Exactly.
Ooh, cool. I get to have more. It's not the normal thought that comes to my mind.
Exactly. I mean, and you can take this with any, I would say, negative event out there, and like relationships or whatever. And you can say that, thanks for the lessons that I've learned at this job, at this relationship, at whatever the event is, and then just move on and look at the positive of getting a better career, getting a better pay, getting better benefits, whatever
Mm.
that you're looking for.
Yeah, that is. Now that you say that, that's potent. That's potent, and I will say that from my own side in the past, in my experience, a lot of the times I wouldn't even think of that because I had such negative stuff around it. I wouldn't even want to touch it. I wouldn't even think of, oh wow, let's learn from this. Like, what did I learn so that I don't make the same
Yep.
mistake, or what do I know that works better for me? Like, this didn't work. Instead of like making it I'm a failure, maybe reframing, as you said, and go, okay, that didn't work for me, or these things seem to be flags when I see them in
Mm-hmm.
relationships or working with other people that I don't like. And taking that, I was like, oh, good. And these are the things that I did like, or because I didn't like those, they kind of make me know what I do like, or
Mm-hmm.
send me down the path to go what I do like, and then it becomes uh, a beautiful learning experience or an empowerment experience when I try that on. Which again, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Which you kind of led into it is the filters that we have kind of
Okay, explain
guide.
filters. Explain filters to the layman.
The filters are like your past experiences, your limiting beliefs of that you're not worthy, you're not loved, or whatever your limiting beliefs that you may not have said them out loud, but you have them deep in your core. Because typically, once you say them out loud, you can start breaking those down, and I guess widening the gap so you can see more of the light that's out there.
So
Um,
is would filters be like hidden demons in your reference as you're talking?
they can be. I mean, it's like I said, it's everything from the past, any traumas in the past, that's uh, insecurity, uh, stuff around financial, money. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate money. I mean, that comes from past experiences with money, with people. It's all
So programming and repetitive comments or opinions that are floating around internally, even especially at a subconscious level where you haven't heard them yet because you
correct.
can. Okay, cool.
Once you probably heard them, but you never said them out loud for, I guess, your conscious mind to actually like, holy crap, yes, that is. I do feel unloved. That's one of my limiting beliefs that I'm working through. So since I can say that out loud now, I'm breaking that down further and further so I can see more positive things instead of always going down that negative road, that dark road of in relationships with either intimate or with friendships, like, oh, this guy hates me because I said this, or my wife thinks I'm an idiot because I didn't put the dishes away. I don't know, something ridiculous type of an
Yeah.
argument,
It's funny. I mean, I'm smiling and laughing because, and I don't want to don't want this to come off as a bad thing, but I'm smiling and laughing because I so get it. I mean, I so it in a way it's us being silly humans sort of thing.
Yep.
Uh, and I get it. I do the same things, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's uh, basically the concepts of filters, and through these filters are how we see things. So talking about more stuff or bringing it to light helps us basically put more gaps in that filter so you can see more positive things. And through that, you can start looking at, like, oh, I lost my job. Oh, it's a better opportunity for this and this and this. So that's the overall learning, I guess, concept of all that.
Very cool. I feel like I was inspired by just your ability to change the perspective, to turn something that feels heavy or feels dark or feels like a burden into something that feels like an opportunity or a discovery or even an adventure,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a treasure hunt. Kind of a treasure hunt. I like
Yes.
that. I like
Yes.
that. Yeah. So yeah, that's fantastic. So I wanted to ask you as a closing sort of statement, a couple of things. One, tell us about what you do and what you offer to people and how you help people.
Okay.
And then secondly, uh, if there's one quote that you would leave people with, what would that be?
Okay. So I empower veterans to change. Um, let me. I empower veterans to choose positive paths into dealing with their trauma, and then guide them into making changes, healthy changes in their lives to become whatever possibilities are out there for them. And then what I do, like I said, I kind of guide them through. There's different methods of, uh, I guess, madness of breaking into the brain. So I mean, it could be hypnotherapy, it could be MER, or as simple as NLP. And then the quote. I really don't have like a famous quote, but the one that a quote for myself, I guess I would do, is just communicate. Be honest with you and everybody that's within your support system, your network, your friendships. Just be open to them.
Oh wow, I really feel that one. That's yeah, that one's potent for me. So, Mike, I want to say thank you so much. I so appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate you being my first ever podcast guest. And it has been a privilege. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.